Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time joining, welcome. I'm your girl Tamika, and it's totally Mika. So I was supposed to do this video a while back, but I never got around to it. So I went on work and travel for 3 years, and all three experiences has been different. And if you don't know what work and travel is, this is a program that allow student in a tertiary institution to come to the United States during the summer and work, and also allow them to experience another culture in which it can be a win-win, especially if you plan to study further on in the US. You become accustomed to their rules and basically know what is and what shouldn't be, even though every state varies. So my first year, I came on the program. It was scary, but I had goals and I had plans and all those stuff. But starting the whole process, God made it possible by allowing somebody to help me by us signing some agreement to basically pay for the whole thing and me paying them back. And for that, I have to be grateful to the person and most of all to God for that opportunity, because God knew what he was doing. um Going on the program, I decided to book my own plane ticket. So I decided to go with Spirit. When I read and it says 14-hour layover, I don't know what I was thinking there and then, but I was like, 14 hour, okay, that's cool, I can do it. But anyways, not knowing that if I had a 14-hour layover, the fact that I was traveling with Spirit Airline, I would have to pay for my bag twice. And I was like, thank God I left some money on one of my card and I was able to pay. And I was like, this is ridiculous, this is so ridiculous. And the fact that I had to sleep at the airport with minimum of cash, that was crazy. But one thing I tell myself, and something that my sister has encouraged me, that if you want good, we weren't born with gold spoon in our mouth, so we have to work hard for it. So I was like, okay, just go. So anyways, on to when I finally reached at the place. I end up, the journey was so long because I reached like 10 in the morning, and the place that I booked to travel to bring me to where I was going, they're like, they cannot bring me alone back, because if they do, they would have to charge me extra. And I was like, that was not an agreement. But as I said, I was new, so I didn't want to cause any problem. I was new to this place, and if they let me somewhere, I would not have an idea where I was. One, I didn't have a phone either. My phone SIM wouldn't, like, I still had my country SIM, so that would not work. So when I reached the place that I was supposed to stay, the lady welcomed me and and her husband was there, and she showed me the room, and she's like, oh, this is the rules, and this is how much you're gonna pay, and I was like, okay, cool, this is more I'm going to pay. But there was this thing. It was really far from where I workplace, in which this lady could not understand. Another thing is that every single time we went back to the house, because I would leave with her, and every time we went back to the house, she would have to reintroduce me to her husband. Bear in mind that this husband was in the military. This was a whole man in the military, and I'm like, so I was like, I don't know how safe this is, because if I show up when you're at work, this man might think like, who is this random girl in her house? Another thing was that where I was supposed to share, I would have to shower with them, which was like, and I'll be paying this amount anyways. When I did went to work, and I did that for like a few days, and talking to other people, we found another place that we could basically rent. So me among these two other girls, like, okay, we can try something, because they were like living in Delaware, which was really far from where they were supposed to be. So we're like, okay, maybe we need to make a change. So we decide to do that. When I went back to the lady, it was like, you have to pay me $25 for each day. And that morning when we were taking Uber, she's like, you're covering the Uber cost. And I was like, okay, I'd rather cover this Uber cost than sit here and worry if I'm going to be safe. Look at this. This is like chocolate brown, you know? So I was like, okay, so I eventually went to this new place and I signed agreement. And we were like to the man, when can we move into this new apartment? It was like, you guys can move in tomorrow. So we're like, okay, we'll collect our bag from where we are living. So me and these new girls, we bring her back to work. And our supervisor was like, where you guys? So we're like, oh, we're moving to our new place, da 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 da. When the evening came, I went to the place. The man was like, we actually didn't find the places yet. And we're like, that was an agreement. And we're like, we have nowhere to stay, so what are we supposed to do? And he was like, I can put you guys somewhere temporary where some other Jamaicans are, and then we'll get you the new place tomorrow. So like, okay, cool. This place that this man brought us to was disgusting. I'm telling you. I was like, did I really leave home where there's no bed bug and be sleeping on this crap where there's bed bugs? He said, we're moving in tomorrow. I went there, I saw some other Jamaicans, and I'm like, if your mama saw you in this place, they'll be so upset. This place is disgusting. But anyways, I won't talk about that. So we were there, and I'm telling you, it was so creepy because we were leaving. We were like, oh my god, anything can happen. The door wasn't able to close properly. We're like, there were some weird people, shady people around the place. And we're like, oh my god, man, we're like, what's happening here? Anyways, the next day we decided to bring our suitcase because we're like, we can't leave our suitcase here because anything can happen. And when we went to work, our supervisor was like, if I see you guys bring your suitcase the next time, we'll have to report you guys, and you guys will be sent back. And I'm like, bear in mind, what did I say? I borrow money before, so I need to reimburse this person, and I'm not that type of person. So I was like, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. So the next day when we're going to work, we decided that the most important thing is the cash that we had and also our passport. So we'll keep that on us, and we'll go to work. And if she asks, we be fine. And we went to work that time, and it was so funny that I couldn't even like warn my parents about it because I know it would like make my mom blood pressure go sky high because she's like, or baby and all those stuff. It was so crazy. So I was like, okay, cool, all right. And then we finally got the place. They didn't want to give us, they were trying to save it for somebody else instead of us. So I was like, okay, but we eventually got into place. You know the situation, you have to share room with like 3 other people, which was like, but my mind was on the prize. And you know, the whole experience going on and all those stuff, we did have a few falling out with people because of stupid reasons. And I'm like, I'm here to make money. I'm here to, you know, learn about the culture. I'm not here to be entangled in anything that is not related to me, you know, elevating myself. And of course, you know, girls go their way, whatever. I, you know, get to meet people and all those stuff. So one night, it was so funny that one night when we're sleeping, I tell you, I came home late that night from work, and this girl who she, you know, faded away from me, which was cool because you know, God is with me. She was in herself, and this girl started to go crazy in her sleep, screaming. And I'm telling you, in the room there was this guy. He was on the top bunk. He was on the bottom bunk of the bunk that she was sleeping. I was on the bottom bunk and another girl was on the top. And we had like a bathroom in our room. And when this girl started to scream and start twisting, this guy ran into the bathroom and locked the door. And I was like the only one. And I was like, dude, did you, like, in that moment I was just like, and I started praying for this young lady until she finally calmed down, and I was like, okay, good, we're not friends, but you need Jesus. Like, I don't know what you got yourself mixed up with, especially sleeping around with people that you don't know. And I said, that's not my story to tell. And I was like, I started praying for her and she calmed down, whatever. And I had to, when the guy had to tell me it's time to come out of the bathroom, and he came and he's like, is everything okay? And I was like, dude, did you just run into the bathroom and lock it without even checking if I was okay? Like, what kind of guy are you? Hmm? What kind of guy are you? And then you had the audacity to try and flirt with me. That means if we're living together and something happened, who's going to run leave me? I better fend for myself, right? And I was like, nah. You I don't know what's, you're seeing something else. You can't be that scary cat. But anyways, girls, when it reached the time for us to come home, that's where another drama happened. I did skip through some crazy stuff. My flight got canceled. Like, first American Airlines was like, we'll rebook your flight, then after they got canceled. Bear in mind, I was supposed to leave this place the next day. That was the agreement between us and the landlord, and I had to call him back. I'm like, it's not going to be possible because my flight just got rebooked. So everybody left because some of the girls were going Montego Bay. So everybody left, and I was the only one in that scare apartment. Bear in mind, we had like a neighbor who was, you consider a nosy neighbor, and one of those neighbors you're like, So I was in this apartment. I would hear a squeaky sound, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, cover me, cover me. I would sleep with all the lights off in the room and all those stuff. And eventually I had to get a friend to help me book a flight on Southwest because I didn't have a SIM then. I was everything, it was like, because it was a point of me coming home. And eventually I did get a flight with Southwest, and I had to drive from Ocean City to Baltimore. And the based on the time of my flight, I had to go the day before because the agency wasn't willing to drive us like at that time because they had set time that they went there. So I had to go there from early that the day before, sleep there in order to get home. In which I was like, I'm willing to do what I have to do because I have to get out of this place. I have to. And I'm telling you, it was one of the most, it was a good experience, but it was also a crazy experience. A cray one. A cray one. As I say, it was just my experience. But yes, I almost became homeless. But that's fine. That's fine. I was able to overcome that, and falling out with people over a stupid reason, and that's another okay. I'm over that. I've passed that stage, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that I got. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching and for listening to my brief story time of my first experience on work and travel. I'll see you guys next in my next video. Bye. And if you want a part 2 of my other experience, let me know, and I'll definitely create one for you guys. Bye bye.